So Motorola just made a move that looks like a massive mistake. For years they watched from the sideline while Samsung and every Chinese brands define what a foldable phone should be. Now in 2026 they finally decided to show up to a party that is already over. This is the Motorola Razr Fold. At first glance you might think you have seen this before. It looks almost exactly like the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold or 6 from a few years ago. That tall, narrow stance feels familiar, but as soon as you touch the hinge, that familiarity disappears. The hinge doesn't just resist, it glides. Samsung gave us the blueprint for this design, but they never actually perfected the execution. Motorola took that old blueprint and fixed every structural flaw. The internal screen is a massive at 8 inches. It's an LTPO OLED panel with 2K resolution that feels like holding a piece of glass rather than layer of plastic. Most foldable feels like compromise between a phone and a tablet. This feels like Motorola waited 5 years just to make sure the screen wasn't just smaller but actually invisible to touch. But having a nice screen doesn't explain why they took so long. While Motorola was perfecting a hinge, companies like Honor and Oppo were making phones that are thinner than a standard iPhone. Motorola is entering a market where the wow factor has already died. They are betting everything on a stylus they call the Motorola Pen Ultra. It isn't just a plastic stick for drawing, it interacts with the Hello UX on Android 16 in a way that feels intentional. You aren't just tapping icons, you're managing a desktop class workflow on a device that fits in your pocket. This power comes with a heavy physical cost. Driving an 8 inches 2K display drains power faster than most batteries can handle. Motorola countered this by packing a triple 50 megapixel camera system including a Sony LYT main sensor and a 3x periscope. Usually when you add heavy camera glass to a foldable, the balance shifts. The phone becomes top heavy and awkward to hold. Motorola changed the internal weight distribution to keep the center of gravity in your palm. Yet we have to talk about the frustration of the timeline. Motorola has had the Razr flip phone for years, they had the supply chain and they had the patents. By now the foldable market is saturated and prices are finally dropping. Motorola isn't trying to be the most affordable or the thinnest, they are trying to be the most refined. Motorola used their lateness as a shield, they let everyone else make the mistake so they could make a version first that feels like a version 6. It isn't a breakthrough or invention, it's a masterclass in observation. We expected a revolutionary new shape but we got a perfected old one. Motorola didn't arrive late because they were struggling, they arrived late because they were waiting for the rest of the industry to stop experimenting on the customers. So what do you guys think of this Razr Fold phone? Did Motorola do it right or they are late? Let me know in the comments. With that being said, subscribe if you like and I will see you in the next one.